Steve Lukather of Toto is with us, and Toto will be here August 17th with Christopher Cross and Men at Work. Steve, how are you?
I'm very well, man. How are you?
I'm all right. So, Toto, do you like headlining? This gig?
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
Well, you go on last, you get to play more, and it's a great slot to be in. I put this thing together. I mean, it was my idea to put this because these guys are my friends.
Yeah.
And I thought we'd have a little wink at the whole yacht rock thing and say, well, we might as well go out and cash in on this. I mean, I don't know what that means. I mean, they came up with this term long decades after the records we did were recorded,
I didn't know that. I didn't know that term had been around for so long.
It's, man, they used to call it West Coast, this soft rock, which I hated much worse than yacht rock.
Yeah.
But I don't know where we fit into all this. I mean, we can do a lot of different stuff. We played on I played on all those records. If you see we have a connection to all this. So they just came up with a silly title for it. So we figured, well, let's go have some fun, guys, and I thought it was a fresh package for the summer. I mean, a lot of the same packages go out in various permutations every year, various combinations. And this time I thought, well, this is a fresh one. Let's go do this. And all of a sudden, this movie came out that we were all in, and it's a thing. And all of a sudden, you can look on our the Spotify stuff and all the age group of who's downloading. We're doing 88 million a month.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're over 4 billion right now. We're quietly making a lot of noise.
Wow.
So this is just Christopher, we played on all those records. He's an old dear friend of mine. Colin and I go way back with the Ringo Starr stuff, and I'm a big fan of his. I thought it'd be a great night of music,
So how long is this tour? Do you know?
At this point, well, it's just going to be after, what's the first date? I can tell you that in a minute. We're doing this first one leg. We're just kind of like put our feet in the water and see how it goes. But the reaction's been pretty overwhelming so far. Yeah. I haven't gotten any ticket sales. So let me see. What are we doing here? It goes until August 30th.
Well, okay. So wait a minute. Let's just back up a little bit. So Netflix has the documentary Yacht Rock, correct?
Yeah.
Netflix does.
HBO, actually.
HBO Max does.
No.
So I watched part of it, and you were named in it. Christopher Cross was named in it. It was kind of weird,
Well, we played on all those records as session musicians. That's what our connection to all that is. They figured, well, if we played on everything, we must be that too. I don't even know. It's just a silly term. They had some comedic term that kind of stuck, and then it became a thing. And then there's bands, yacht rock bands that play all the music. It turned it into some joke thing that turned into not such a joke. You know what I mean? And then the numbers don't lie. People that listen to the music or come to the shows. I don't care what you want to call it, man. I mean, I'm past the point of worrying about whether I'm going to be on the cover of Rolling Stone. I already turned that down once.
Steve Lukather is here, and Yacht Rock. It's just funny to me. I mean, the first record that came out from Toto was not Yacht Rock. I mean, I consider Rosanna and Africa.
Okay, well, back then that was our fourth album. I mean, we were doing. The problem with us and where we screwed up, and where our record company screwed up, actually, is we were considered a rock band, and then they put out Georgie Porgy.
Yeah.
And we were done. And then that was it for us at rock radio. And I said, man, guys, when we cut the song, when we did our first record, we had never played live before. We had played live in various combinations. We were in Boss Gagg's band. We played in high school together and all that. But as Toto, per se, we made the record first, and then we figured out how to play it afterwards. So we did a lot of different things. David Page would go, what do you got? We'd come in, we didn't rehearse or nothing. We just were at the studio. What are we going to do today? Page, what do you got? Because he was, Page was just every day had a new one. Right. It was unbelievable. He was so prolific. So we just play whatever he brought in that day. I didn't write anything until the second album. I was too intimidated by Dave's, unbelievable gift, And I still, he taught me everything. Him and Jeff Picaro taught me everything. It's still Dave and Jeff's band. I'm just holding the candle because they can't be here to do it,
Do you have to schedule your creative playing around other people, the studio sessions?
What do you mean? I don't understand.
Well,
I don't really do studio sessions anymore. I mean, I used to do tons of them back in the 70s and 80s, up through, I think about 93, I sort of stopped doing everyday sessions.
Oh.
I'll show up on a charity event or something for a friend, or somebody wants to pay me ridiculous amounts of money. Generally, I leave that to the guys that do that now. I mean, we were the last era that showed up. The guys that showed up had no idea who they're going to play with and what music we were going to play. You had to be ready for anything, no rehearsal, no demos. So we were the last of the, okay, what do you got for us? Mm-hmm. And we'd make, they give us a piece of paper with a bunch of letters on it, a few scratches here and there, music, not much. And we'd come up with our own parts 4 times a day, every day, 5-6 days a week for 20 years, and be in a band.
Wow.
So, like I could do Quincy Jones during the day and Alice Cooper at night, Aretha Franklin the next day, and then Joni Mitchell at night. I mean, it would be, I'd have weeks like this, And I still kept all my year at a glance date books back from 1977. So it has everywhere I've been, all the sessions I did, and I did write a book, but had told some stories in it. But I mean, I still pinch myself going, did I actually do all this? How did I figure out how to do all this? Where did I find the time?
Once again, August 17th is the date when Toto will be there at Hollywood Casino Amphitheatre with Christopher Cross and Men at Work, and the sessions that Steve was talking about. He doesn't do them anymore, but I think that you probably remember who was the biggest jerk that you ever had.
Jerk?
Yeah, that you ever played for.
I don't remember anybody being a real jerk.
Really?
There was something I did once. It was the only session I ever walked out on.
Which one was that?
Well, it was when I was doing sessions and I didn't know who the artist was. And this was at a point where I was just about done doing them. But somebody says, hey, man, you got to do me a favor. And, can you do 12 to 6 at Sunset Sound, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't ask who it was for. And then when I got there, I realized it was a Richard Simmons dance record. And I sat there and I'm going man, this is not what at this point we already had multi-platinum records, and I do this because I love to play and not sit at home do nothing, but I got to be a little bit more.
Yeah.
I pulled the old, I got to use the phone, I'll be right back, because this is before cell phones. And I got in my car and left. and 2 weeks later I came back and they were still there.
They were still. Oh,
I was working in another session, another room, and they saw me. It got really messed up, man.
So, who was the coolest, by the way?
Oh,
plenty of those.
There's too many of those, because that's mostly the case. I mean, the greatest musicians are generally the nicest people. I could say that with a lot of experience. Some are a little quirkier than others, but as far as being cool and nice and really appreciating what I did to the music, has always been great. Obviously, there are ones that stick out that are more famous, doing the Thriller record, with McCartney, and then getting to work with him, and then all the people that I met through all that. I've been in Ringo's band for going on 13 years. He's one of my best friends, and I never would have figured that, but we live really close. And we just hit it off. When I joined the band, we just kindred kind of spirits, You always go, oh, I hope he likes me and all that, but we just connected on a level outside of the gig,
Right. So
we're friends.
You've been with Journey for the last couple of years, I think.
Well, we did that. We did that up until we did it for a couple of years and stopped after the beginning of this year. And that was a great experience for us. I mean, Neil and John asked us on, and we thought, we really want to bust out in the United States, man. This is a great way for us to do it, because it was arena tour, and we helped sell out the tickets. So it was a positive experience for us. We killed it every night, and they were great to us, and I love those guys a lot. And then it was time to, we headline everywhere else in the world, and I'm just trying to bring it up to where it is around the world. So this is our first headline summer tour like this, so really excited about it.
So your son, though, met Jonathan Cain's daughter of Journey. And he's a player too. So
great player.
When did he meet Jonathan Cain's daughter during the tour, or what?
Actually, prior to it.
Wow, really?
And it had nothing to do with either one of us. It was I don't know how they did that, but I leave that on them. I mean, they're adults, It's all good.
And he's a good player.
He's a great player.
Great
Not
player.
good. He's great.
He's
great songwriter, great engineer, producer. The whole deal, man. He's working all kinds of stuff.
Coming from Steve Lukather, that's a big deal. So, and I know your dad,
yeah, I'm proud of him.
but still though. So when you came to KSHE back in the day, the last time that we talked to you,
1978 KSHE concert, live radio, man. I remember, man.
And you
I
had the
remember
shirt.
the red. I had the red shirt with the big snout on it.
Yep, Real Rock
You
Radio.
still have those?
Yes, we still have those. Maybe we'll.
I want one.
We'll take care of you on August 17th.
Yeah,
when
come
you
on,
come.
bring it out for me.
All right. Steve Lukather, thanks for taking the time out. Once again, August 17th at the Hollywood Casino Amphitheatre. Toto with Christopher Cross, Men at Work. It is the Yacht Rock Tour, or are we naming that? Or
No.
No.
You know what? They come up with these little things. I mean, they came up with that decades after we made those records. So it's like, we were session guys hired to play on all these records. They became friends. Some of us stayed friends. So we thought, okay, we had a laugh in the HBO film that just came out. It's pretty funny and informative. But we said, well, do you want to do this? Why don't we just do this and go out and have some fun with it?
All right.
It was kind of my idea to put it all together. I said, well, we might as well have a laugh and make some money.
That's
you can call it what you want. People like the music, they show up, and there's going to be a music that they know.
I think a lot of people will show up to this show. So, Steve Lukather, congrats on the tour, and we'll see you in August.
Thanks. You got it, man. Thank you very much.